Hello everyone, hello again. Let me fix my hair and type in today is Advent live stream. Day 4. There we go. Oops. Post. I pin this. Yeah. I finally changed the language. Hello, Andrea. Hi, how are you today? So I changed the language. It was Polish and I couldn't understand much. I can't insist on it much right now at this point. Questions. So, how are you today, Andrea? Andrea, is it an Italian name? Tonio, Gabriel, hello. Hi, how are you? How was your day? Would you like to talk? We can talk, okay? I know that some people feel very shy in lives. You shouldn't. You shouldn't feel shy. Use this opportunity to practice. Good. Camila, hello. Very good. Italian name. Chiorio. Alright. So, hello, Gabriel. Tony Gabriel, how are you? Alright, so today we will be talking about anything you like. You can ask questions. We can talk here if you want. You're Brazilian, okay. But your family is of Italian origin. Hello, Rodrigo. Hello, Dr. João Ferreira. Hello, how are you? So, what about your English? How long have you been? I always ask this question. I always want to know. How long have you been learning English? Okay, someone wants to talk? João Ferreira? Let's see. Sometimes people tap on the button by chance. Sometimes.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? No?
Sim.
Oh, maybe I need a. Let's try this phone here. It will work? Let's see. Maybe it's better. Hello?
Hello.
Yeah.
Sim.
Yes, okay. So, tell me about yourself. Where do you live? I think. All right. So, hello, Teacher Newton is here. Teacher Newton, ask a question. Very nice. Andrea, where is your family from in Italy? Do you know? You probably know, right? Were your grandparents who came to Brazil or your parents who came here? Hello, Glaucio. Hello, Ronald. Thierry. Hi. Moni. Ellie Oliver. How are you? Remember, if you want to talk, we can talk, okay? I don't know if you can hear. I think Newton will let me know. Yes. Hello, Dr. João Ferreira, right? You couldn't hear me before? Let me take this. Hear me now? Hello, hello, hello. Calabria. Can you hear me? Tá mudo ainda? I think I'll need to restart the live. I think I'll need to start again. Hello. Hi, Yuliya. Yuliya, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Or no? Agora tá bem? Okay. Right. So, Yuliya, if you're here, by the way, let's talk about that live stream, okay? Hi. So, Yuliya, this is my other Instagram account. Okay, it's good now. So, this is our English course account, MELHORE SEU INGLês. You know what it means, right? So, these are followers. No read? Okay. You don't read, Jones Araújo? Usually, reading is something we get faster than the other skills because it's a more passive skill and we have more time to work out the meanings of the words. So we usually, okay, good. We usually, can get to read a text faster than, for example, speaking or even listening or something like that. Okay, very good. Let me know if you want to talk, okay? Let me know that. Right, so the article is from this magazine here, Success. You're going to see the inverted image, okay? But this article here, and it's 5 daily habits of highly successful people. And the meaning of success here is not, at least in my book, it's not having like tons and tons of money. Doesn't have much to do with money or fame or things like that. It has to do with being able to achieve your goals. Okay, this is the meaning that I'm going to use here in this context. Okay, so there are five things you can do to reach your goals. That's what the article is about. The very first thing they mention here is planning. Planning, number one, planning. I talked about that yesterday. We can talk today. Yuliya, do you want to talk now? Would you like to talk now? Do you have time? Are you available? Let me know if you can, okay? So the first thing is planning. Planning is crucial if you want to be successful, to reach a goal. In my experience, okay, I don't know many stories of people who have reached the goal without planning. I simply don't know. Sometimes people just plan a day before, like.
Did you see the show Polyglot?
Yes.
No.
The night before. This is the suggestion they give here, to plan your next day the night before. This is a good idea because, you know, right before you go to bed, you get to think about what you need to do the following day, and you can just spend a few minutes trying to decide, make the decisions about what you're going to do the next day. So you visualize what's going to happen since when you wake up, you get up, and then what am I going to do now? Then, right? What will I do after? I have breakfast, I leave for work. How will my day at work be? If I don't go to work, what kind of day will it be? You know, so you visualize it the day before, the night before. This is much better. I don't know if you do that. You can share your experience here if you do plan your days. Because in my experience, it helps me with anxiety. So I feel less anxious when I plan. And I started to plan the night before, and then I started to plan 2 days before, 5 days before, 7 days before. And now I have a whole month planned. From now and later. Okay, Yuliya, let me invite you. Let's see if it works, if it will work. So, Yuliya is a fellow language learner. She's a polyglot, like me. I love that. And like you too, because Brazilians speak Portuguese, Spanish, and English, right? So, okay, she can't now. So, Brazilians are kind of polyglots too. But it doesn't mean that you don't have to study, you don't have to practice, you don't have to learn. It means you have to do the job to be able to communicate better. Okay, okay. All right, so bye-bye, Jones. So plan your life. So like I was saying, I have a whole month planned. It gives me stability. And because there are so many unpredictable events that happen in our lives, I can manage them easier because I have some sort of basis, right? A foundation, a structure that I can move things around and I can adapt faster, I think. That's my case. Of course, people have different experiences, so let me know. Hello, Lily, how are you? Where are you? Are you here in Brazil? Or are you in the US? Where are you? So planning is very important, and if you want to learn English, okay? If you want to learn a language. Number 2, read books. I know this is not very common here in Brazil. People don't like to read books, but this is what will take you further in your language journey. Why? If you're learning, if you're reading books in your target language, which is in your case English, of course you will expand your vocabulary and tremendously, and also consolidate the grammar structures and things like that. Lily, you're in the US, that's so cool. You have to tell me. We're going to do a live stream together, okay? I'm going to invite you. We need to talk. Hi, Otso, you're here. We need to talk too. Cool, very cool. I forgot to tell people on WhatsApp. So, okay. Let's see. This is going to work. Personality development. So, reading books is very important. Okay. 3. Having a healthy life is important too. Okay, so eating well is very important. It is connected with learning. Okay, it is connected with learning languages, learning English. If you eat well, you learn more. You don't feel tired. You have more energy. If you exercise, you definitely have more energy to study, to learn. Your brain is more activated. Your heart pumps more blood, more oxygen in the brain. The more oxygen, the more, the better your brain works. Both, ambos, yes. No, eu comprei, I bought, B-O-U-G-H-T. I bought some kids' books, but it's kids' books are not considered usually a very good idea if you're starting to learn a language. You would think so, right? You would think that children's books are the best for beginners or intermediate level students, but that's exactly the point. They have a lot of difficult words. So it's actually for advanced students. Children's books work better usually with advanced students. So steer clear if you're a beginner or intermediate, because you'll feel frustrated. I did that when I was an intermediate student, English student. I got some children's books. I was actually living in the United States, and I bought some books, and they were super hard. Super hard. And the words are actually I don't think they're used in our everyday life so much, you know, at least the way I see it. They are, I don't know, more bizarre words, poetic words sometimes, because for children, for native children, it's fun because the words are different and creative, and for them it is fun. It is very good, but for learners, ready. Okay, so let's try again, Yuliya. For learners, it can be harder, right, to deal with these books. Don't get number 4. Or like the Germans would say 4 like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how they say number 4. So number 4 is don't get distracted by other people's journeys or by what other people are doing. I bought in the USA. Yes. Don't get distracted, meaning don't compare yourself. This is what we are always saying here, right? Teachers say this all the time. Don't compare yourselves. And even us teachers, nobody actually, we are no different from, I am a student actually, right? So we shouldn't compare ourselves to other people in terms of, let's try again. We shouldn't compare ourselves, yes, I'm calling you again, Yuliya. We shouldn't compare ourselves to other people. Why? Because our lives are completely... Hello, Yuliya.
How are you?
How are you? Oh, it's so good. Oh my God, when was the last time we spoke in a live session?
Oh my God, I don't remember. It was in summer.
It was in summer for you. So most people here are Brazilian. So
okay.
tell them about yourself a little bit, where you are, where you're from.
In Portuguese. Oh my God. It
can be in Portuguese if you want.
No, I'm not ready to speak Portuguese. I'm a little bit embarrassed about this.
No, don't say that. Your Portuguese is great. But you can mix if you want, or you can speak in English. That's good.
Okay. My name is Yuliya. I'm Russian, but I live in Turkey. And I'm a teacher of English as you. But
yes.
In fact, I haven't taught about 3 years because I have 2 little kids.
Yes, they're super cute.
Yeah. And now, in my free time, I learn languages. It's super interesting for me.
Yuliya is amazing. How many languages have you learned?
Have I learned?
Yeah, or
I can say that I have been learning them still, even English.
Yeah?
I say that I have been learning English too. Because every day I learn something new, some new slang, or and every language changes, as you know, every year. Even my native language today, one of my followers corrected my Russian. I forget my Russian. Yes.
I make mistakes in Portuguese, a lot of mistakes in Portuguese, in English, in every language. I make mistakes in every language. It's very democratic.
No.
Yes.
But I'm
planning
to speak about 40 languages.
40 languages. That's amazing.
Some languages just for fun.
Hello, Cuba is here too. Yeah, there are many polyglots joining the chat here, the live stream. That's awesome. So, Yuliya, I created my Instagram account because, I have this account here, MELHORE SEU INGLês. It's for our English students, right? Brazilian English students. And I always tell them about the account I created for my language learning journey. That's the word people like to use. And it's Polyglot Erika. And
my experiments there, right? Because it's more like a place where I can experiment using different strategies, techniques, and things like that. And I always tell people here, because I think this is such a great idea to, you know, to be part of a community and to have support of people who like or are passionate even about language learning, right? So you also have an account like that. How do you feel? Tell us about your experience with Instagram, using Instagram to practice.
Actually, I love my Instagram account, especially for language learners, because I found so many friends and language lovers. I even didn't know that so many people learn languages.
Yes, me neither.
I don't know this. Yeah. I even forgot about my private Instagram account. Every day I am here because it's really interesting for me. It's really what I ever wanted all my life.
Yeah, you spend your whole life learning languages, right? 40 languages, 40 at 40. 40 languages, it takes time. It takes time. So you spend your whole life learning. You have a lot of experience, right? Learning languages. And this is great. I feel that Instagram has changed the way I practice, very, you know, hugely, because of that, because it's the how can I say that, the accessibility, you know, the communication with other people is very fast. There is no bureaucracy. It's very easy. It's very easy to talk to people.
All these challenges, all these people motivate you every time. And you know, I have never recorded myself. I was just afraid of recording myself, but the last challenge made me do it, and I loved it. I really loved it.
Yes. You record for your stories, right?
Sometimes stories, it depends on the language I have these 3 days. Because, for example, in Kurdish, I don't speak much, so I cannot record myself for feet. So I do it for my stories. Yeah.
It's so interesting. Kuba, I don't know if Kuba is still here. Kuba is Polish. And we were talking the other day about recording ourselves as a beginner. Because that's what I tell people to do, to record from day one. Day one, you started the language, start recording yourself immediately. That's what I did. And I feel that for me, it worked well. But he tried, I don't know, I'm going to talk to Kuba in another live stream, and he'll talk about his experience with doing that. So the point is, I'm not sure it works for everybody. I know this is the feeling that I had, that we are different.
Yes.
You know,
each person has its own system of learning. For example, my rhythm no one cannot repeat my rhythm of learning.
Yes, there are so many differences, like the rhythm and you know, the way you approach the language, and it's also something dynamic. Don't you feel that when you're learning a language, that in my case, I'm always, you know, I have now a structure, like I record videos every day, 3 videos in Polish every day. I have this structure, but and I use the same apps, I use the same books, but I am always willing to experiment with new resources and try to incorporate something new and put something away for a while. So I think it's dynamic. It's not the same. Is it the same for you?
No. I have different resources for learning. And of course, I have one book for one language and a notebook with which I work about 2 or 3 hours a day, especially during the day, afternoon. In the morning, I usually spend time with Duolingo or some other apps and write some notes, new words, and I have a system also. In my kitchen, I have a notebook for all languages where I write some new words. Yes. And in the afternoon, I work with a book. I spent about 2 hours working on exercises, grammar, vocabulary, listening, reading, no matter what books give. And in the evening, I try to listen to music, to watch a film in the language I learn. So I spend the whole day learning. Even if I don't have time, even if I don't have time, I'm cooking. I try to name all my ingredients, in the language I learn. This way I'm learning.
Yes, definitely.
I cannot say that I'm perfect and I know all these languages fluently. No, I don't speak many languages I learn, but I can see a language and I can say, this is Italian, this is Thai, like this. I can read something in some languages. So now I'm in a process, I'm learning, and I think it's normal. I cannot say that, yes, I speak all 40 languages and I'm perfect.
But I agree with you because this word fluent, this is what students are always asking about. Oh, I want to be fluent in English, right? And this is a very problematic term, fluency. What does it even mean to be fluent? And I don't think it gives us a very clear, doesn't have a clear connection with the word goal, objective, right? So instead, this is just an insight I had now. Instead of thinking about fluency, think about an objective goal that you have. So in your case, you're having fun with these languages, right? You're curious about these languages and you are excited about being able to understand the text and understand people speaking the languages. That's probably what motivates you. Here in Brazil, people need to learn English because of their jobs in most cases. In most cases, this is what happens. So they're forced to do it if they want to grow and to be able to, communicate with foreigners that come here or when they travel abroad. So what is your goal? Communicating minimally with someone? Set that as a goal. Don't confuse it with fluency. Fluency is a very vague, I think it's a very, very vague notion. And it's also a little bit like a fantasy that we have in our heads, right? That fantasy that we will in some point in the future become speak a language like a native, which some people say it's possible if you do certain things, you can speak like a native. If that is your objective, go right ahead. But having clear...
I got used to talk to my... in Kazakhstan, I had my own language school in English. And my students came to me, and also sometimes they didn't have time to learn a language, but they needed this language and they wanted to speak it fluently. And I sometimes told them that we Russian don't know our language, native speakers, we don't know our language so perfect. How are you going to know this during 3 months?
This is a good point. Who knows their own language super well, right? Who uses all the grammar structures perfectly without mistake? You use the language that you use every day. If you use certain structures every day, you use it correctly because you're using it every day. But there are many things that we don't usually use, right?
May I give an example with my Turkish? Maybe it will be helpful to people who wants to know English quickly. I learned when I came to Turkey, I didn't know Turkish. And first I learned the basics. So I knew just some grammar, how to introduce myself, and some nouns and verbs to communicate. Not much. And after that, I was around those people who speak just Turkish. They spoke, they asked something, and I had to understand them. And you know, I started, I should say that I got listening skills quicker, faster.
Yeah, you were exposed all day long.
Yeah, now I understand them very well, but my speaking is sometimes not perfect. But I should say that I learned this language just listening, by listening. Yeah.
This is very interesting.
Yes, if students have some basics, for example, till present perfect, if we're about grammar, it's enough to start speaking, and then they will improve every day. They will speak. They will, if they use it, but if they don't, of course, nothing is possible.
Yeah. If you want to speak, you need to speak. If you want to listen, you need to listen. Yuliya, what is your opinion? I got this question the other day, and I'm thinking about this because I'm at this point with Polish. Because I've been learning Polish for 8 months, and I have been recording myself. It helps a lot. But I just now, last Saturday, I talked to Cuba a little bit, and how does the student makes this jump from not speaking to speaking? Do you understand?
If you don't,
how does the person start speaking? Especially because many people are very shy, very shy, and they don't feel comfortable at all speaking. You know, what people say is that they're afraid of making mistakes. They're shy, yes. So how do you start speaking when you feel this way? Is it possible? What changed?
Here, all Turkish people sometimes laugh at my Turkish, but at the same time they say, it is so cute. You are a foreigner, but you are speaking so cute.
Yes.
Your Turkish is very different from ours, but you can express yourself and it's enough. Sometimes I make mistakes because Russian and Turkish pronounce, for example, are different. And I'm confused with them, and they laugh at it because it's really strange. But my husband, at the same time, doesn't speak Russian so well, but I understand him, and it's enough. So I think people should try. They should try. But at the same time, if you ask me now to speak a little bit Portuguese.
Ok, so speak Portuguese now. Não, Yuliya, você consegue. Vamos lá, fala um pouquinho. Então, qual é o seu nome? Qual é o seu nome?
Oh my God. And now I will feel very embarrassed now because a lot of people watch us.
No, but they will think it's cute. They will think, because this is the foreigner advantage, I think, because if you are a foreigner, people will think it's cute, right? And like all the foreigners, people here, the Brazilians think you speak actually super well. You need to speak Portuguese a little bit so we can see. The thing is, here in Brazil, I don't know, when there is a group of students in a classroom, this is not my case, I only teach just private students, but when there is a group of students, they tend to feel uncomfortable speaking in front of other Brazilians, you know, because they're not speaking in front of other Russians, they're speaking in front of other of Brazilians, so it's not so bad, right?
Yeah, and I was working with the students in groups, and you know, I always made them speak to each other, and they even tried, and I think it works. Yeah, they are shy, but if I am in the class now, for example, I will try to speak, but now I don't know. I will think a lot because I have never spoken Portuguese like this, like in English.
Like this, but simple sentences. For example, my name is Yuliya. How would you say that in Portuguese? Do you remember?
I remember. Wait.
Eu?
No,
I think Portuguese is difficult because you know that I have another Instagram account to teach Portuguese.
No, I'm afraid to be confused now. Chama-me.
Yes. Chama-me ou meu nome é.
Meu nome.
Meu nome é Yuliya.
Meu nome é. Chama-me. I used it much more, but mi chiamo is like Italian. And I'm confused with it. Yes,
it's so similar. I think Italian is actually easier than Spanish sometimes. I always thought Spanish was the closest language to Portuguese, but now reviewing Italian, although what I do on YouTube, I follow a lot of teachers on YouTube, and I follow this Italian teacher. He's very serious. He's very serious, and he started a series of videos teaching very basic stuff, vocabulary and grammar, actually vocabulary and verbs, just the words, and he didn't teach the conjugation, just the words. For example, caminare, and then he taught the words albero, I don't know, some other words. And then he said,
in my stories I spoke Italian, by the way. And
sorry?
I really was afraid to speak some Spanish or Portuguese at the same time.
It is similar. It's very similar. So this teacher, he said, okay, so now you write sentences here in the comments below. And I said, yeah, of course, I'm going to write some sentences. And then I tried to write a sentence using the verb caminare. In Portuguese, we say anda, right? So, ele anda, he walks. But, no, not caminare, andare. The verb was andare. So we say ele anda, and then I wrote lui anda. And then he was very like, no, this is not, it's an irregular verb. I had no idea it was an irregular verb. And it's a crazy verb in Italian. It's worse than in Portuguese. I don't know if you remember. I don't know if I remember, but it's it has a very crazy behavior in Italian. So I was okay, but I tried. So this is a tip also. Someone also asked me about how to start writing text. In my Polish, my Polish practice, the thing I do the least is writing. I copy texts. I use Google Translate a lot, but I haven't started trying to write my own sentences yet. I don't know if I'm taking too long. I don't know if I should try something to make my own sentences like I did with Italian. Even if it's wrong, right? And even if the teacher is very stern and something, we have to try. And for example, I told him, I will never forget this again. Non mi dimenticherò mai. I don't know if that's right. Non mi dimenticherò mai. I will remember that. So.
Yeah, maybe it happens with Russian and all Slavic languages. when speaking Ukrainian, I had to re-record myself because I always put Russian words instead of Ukrainian words.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
No, I can understand with this, yeah. And for us foreigners, Spanish, Portuguese, and Italian, when they are used together, very confused. I'm very confused.
Yeah, I have been watching a TV show on Netflix called Merli, and it's a Catalan series. And I learned a little bit of Catalan on Duolingo a few years ago, and I thought it was so cute because very cute because I recognized it. You can hear, and now watching the series, I can hear French, I can hear Italian, I can hear Spanish, and I can hear Portuguese.
Yeah.
It's very cute. I don't know if this makes it easier or harder to learn, right?
Maybe it's a polyglot problem.
Yeah.
For people who learn one language, it's easier. But I don't know that feeling because even in the university, I learned 2 languages at the same time, German and English. So I don't know how
you're used it.
Yeah.
You're used to learning two languages at the same time. This is a question people ask also. What do you feel about learning 2 similar languages and 2 different languages? Because German is different from the other languages, or was?
German
at
is
university.
Afrikaans or Dutch or.
Yeah, but when you were in university, you were studying German and
English.
In English, yes. Well, they're similar. There are similarities.
Yes, but I don't know. I cannot compare these languages. Yes, the vocabulary sometimes is similar to English, but no, grammatical points in German much harder.
Yes, the cases. And what about, I tell the students to learn English fast so they can use English to learn other languages, because it's important for us to know Spanish here in Brazil. And for many people, it's important also to know German, especially engineers, right? So German, sometimes Italian, sometimes French. What language do you use to study other languages? Do you use English? I only use English because that's my strongest language.
English, sometimes German, and sometimes Russian.
Oh, yes.
But
because there are many.
But mostly I use English because many books and many apps are common with English teaching.
Yeah.
So
yes,
it's not very difficult to learn from English. But
exactly. Yeah.
Even in French, but it's hard to understand. But for example, Polish, Kurdish, and some other languages. I have Dutch. I have books with their native explanation. I have
cool.
book, explained in Dutch, so no English, nothing. So I have to understand everything immediately from the beginning. Polish is also, but Polish is easy to understand for me because yes, for you it might be easier. But when I learned German 4 years ago, I used the grammar book to get acquainted with the rules and do exercises, and it was in German. I think it was in German. And I had a hard time in the to that, right? So I think it helps, right? In Portugal, we don't have many resources available to study other languages in Portuguese. We don't have, at least not good books, I would say. Not even to teach Portuguese. I don't think we have a good
you know, good books to teach Portuguese. But I think this can be interesting to use a language to learn another, right? So using Spanish to learn. So today I was telling a student, she's starting to learn French, and she was using Duolingo to practice English. So she was learning from Portuguese to English, and I told her, she has an intermediate level, so I told her to learn French from English, and she loved the idea.
Good idea.
Yeah. Yes.
But
Duolingo
doesn't have many languages in, for example,
in
French or in Turkish. So much more is in English. So
yes.
For example, it's the best way, because Thai or some other languages like what Greek.
And these other languages, Yuliya, how do you practice? Do you practice speaking? Because you can speak Russian, you have family in Russia, you can speak Turkish, and I mean, people who are available and you can talk to, we could talk in Portuguese, right? We can practice.
I need to try.
But what about the other languages, for example? But you have friends, right, who speak these other languages, German, French, Italian. You talk to them.
I have some friends, Spanish especially, French, I have some Arabic, but no, Arabic I cannot speak it because
it's a hard language.
The spelling is really hard. I cannot pronounce some words. I learn it, but it's the most difficult language for me.
Okay, so that's the most difficult. I was going to ask you that. It's the most difficult.
Yeah.
Sometimes I see you practicing the script on the stories.
Yes, just practicing, like writing or reading. Yes, I can read, I can write. But if you ask me to speak Arabic, I won't pronounce any word. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's really hard, and grammar is really hard. I need more time.
How hard is it to find resources to learn Arabic?
I usually use torrent and download all books from torrent, and I have a very good collection of books. Yes, and also I use YouTube or wait a minute.
Okay.
I have a low battery.
Okay.
Yes, and I use internet resources. I use YouTube lessons. And there are many lessons in YouTube. But you know, Arabic has dialects, and sometimes you learn words, but you don't know what dialect it is. And after starting writing or speaking it, people say that, oh, it's Egyptian, don't learn it now. And I get confused with this.
Okay.
That's why it's really difficult. For example, if I speak Portuguese and Brazilian Portuguese, you will understand me, right?
Yes.
But Arabic people usually correct me. But it's don't learn it. Now standard Arabic is okay for you, but I didn't know that it's Egyptian like this.
Wow, yeah. So it's difficult to see the distinction, right, between these. They're very close.
Yeah. I'm learning standard Arabic, but people always find mistakes and correct me, so I get confused. Maybe this is the reason, just because this is the reason why I cannot speak Arabic yet.
Okay. What about the Eastern languages like Japanese, Chinese, Korean?
If you can read and write these languages, they are not difficult. Grammar is very easy in Japanese, in Chinese, in Thai. Just maybe first some months it will be hard just because you don't know the scripts. Well, Chinese characters are really hard, but pinyin helps you every time, so I don't think they are very difficult to learn. Yeah.
And
tones are a big problem.
Sorry?
Chinese tones, like Thai tones. Yeah,
yeah,
and Chinese tones.
Okay, yeah. Yes, I remember with the Lang Jam challenge, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember if Hindi, I think Hindi, does it have tones?
First you got Hindi, and then last time you got Thai.
Thai, yeah.
I remember that.
Because, yes, I was more prepared for Thai because I knew I organized it myself so I could learn more. And I could even practice a little bit of the tones. But in Hindi, I didn't have so much time, so I didn't, actually even less time than with Thai. But it was fun. It was very good. And I love the teachers on YouTube. They're so cute. And there is a teacher, a Thai teacher on Instagram. She's so nice, so nice. I'm still following her, and I try to get, to learn a few words. And
yes.
Yes, it's very cool. You do that too, right? You follow teachers, you follow other language learners.
I have many Italian teachers, Spanish teachers, Thai, Korean teachers. They explain many things, and of course, all these tips help me a lot. Just today I listened to Italian teacher. She's Russian, but she lives in Italy. Sorry, Italia. It's like yes, and
Italianissima vita, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
And she taught a very interesting thing. There are many things I have learned from Instagram. Instagram motivates us much, a lot.
Yeah.
So
I think it's.
I would advise people who love languages to make their accounts to learn languages, because it's really nice. Instagram holds you to learn languages.
Yeah, exactly. I love it. This was the biggest discovery this year for me. It was great. This year was great. Because I started the account in April, and since then it's been fantastic meeting you, meeting everybody there. I'm so grateful, so happy to have met everybody.
I also started it in December. Just some months earlier than you. But this year I worked non-stop. It's the first time when I didn't have breaks, just because I got this system in my feed that I must do these posts every day. Today this one, tomorrow this, and for this I need to work, I need to learn, and that's why I keep going and don't make any breaks.
Yes. This is important, right? Because there is a we gain speed, I think, with that. When we don't have breaks, we gain speed, right? And the
only problem I have, that I have so many languages, and one of my followers was right when he said that now you got Irish, but then you will meet it just 6 months later. And he is right, because I use just maybe some languages like Portuguese, Turkish, English, German, Italian. I have every day. I watch something, read something. I need them every day. But languages like Irish or Swedish, I don't meet them so much. That's why I have only 3 days on these languages, and then I stop. Yeah, this is the only problem.
So, yeah, and then you rotate the languages, right?
Yeah.
You study certain languages at certain days.
Yeah. Every 3 days, my son chooses one of the language. And
he chooses. Oh, that's great. That's a good way to make decisions.
Yeah. I don't choose. I don't know. Tomorrow is also the 3rd day of Kurdish, but after that, I don't know what language it will be. Tomorrow, I will.
He will tell you.
Yeah, I will learn it. He will choose. Yes.
Very nice. Very nice, Yuliya. I'm so happy because we hadn't planned this live stream, and I'm very glad we could do it. Thank you so much.
I had a very good time, and I really, I'm really glad that we were able to make this live stream today.
Yes, because I think it's important, right, to talk, and we learn with everybody, right?
Of course.
And from you, certainly. Very happy. Thank you. We need to stop here. I have a class in a few minutes. But we can certainly do this again in the future. We'll speak more Portuguese in the future.
Okay. I will prepare for that.
So, thank you so much.
Muito obrigada. Muito obrigada.
Muito obrigada, yes, de nada. Muito obrigada, eu agradeço todo mundo aqui, adorou. Você tem que aparecer mais aqui. You have to do this more, because people love you here. É isso aí. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Yuliya. And I'll see you next time. Okay?
See you. Bye-bye.
Tchau. Bye-bye. Tchau.
Bye-bye.